All right, so this is my understanding right now. So we've been testing out the Sulian a little bit, starter ship, you know, Mac Daddy Sulian. We want, like MMOs are, you have those people that really want to min-max their builds, and you got people that want their stuff to look good. All right, and the Sulian, this kind of looks good, and it's been working really well. So we got these ballistic repeaters. It's been working pretty good for this ship. I would be tempted to try the Gatling guns, but it doesn't look nearly as good as these repeaters. Now, what I'm getting with the ballistics is I think I understand a little bit with how it's happening in game. This could change at any point, but what it is if you have a specific target that you want to go against, you can equip ballistics for that specific target. The ballistics go through shields. They might do a little bit less damage, but if you're not able to keep consistent fire on a target, the ballistics just become better. So, like a light fighter or something that can easily stay behind a Connie or whatever could probably get away with having laser weapons and just keeping one laser weapon and hitting it repeatedly over and over. And in numbers, it becomes even better. But that same type of situation with the slower ship, I don't think you can get away with ballistics. So, like the Connie against the light fighter, for instance, you might be able to get some sustained fire on it, but it's probably not going to be very much. So, ballistic weapons, if you're able to use against that fighter as it comes in, you could potentially damage and cripple its maneuverability before it gets into your blind spot. And at that point, you would have a better chance, you know? And this is where we're getting into the Sulian, and it's kind of balancing itself because, for instance, this Sulian's using a Gatling gun, or the repeaters. These repeaters are doing very good versus the lighter targets, lighter fighters, smaller ships. It's doing well. It goes through the shields. It hits hard. It goes through. The ammunition's lasting a decent amount of time. But if we went up against anything bigger that has better armor, those ballistics become void. So what it's seeming like to me is that if you're a smaller ship wanting to go up against bigger ships, you would equip more laser weapons because you would basically be working to put down their shields to open them up to your team, and also it allows you to have constant ammunition to put more and more pressure on the ship and hit it without needing to go reload. So it's more pressure. But if you're going up against things that you can easily destroy, the ballistics just become way better. So like the Sulian, for instance, I can run laser weaponry on here, but the capacitor on here just isn't doing it. I'm only getting like 40 round bursts on things. Laser cannons and stuff, I'm only getting like 8 shots. Even with like siege mass drivers and stuff that we've been using, has been taking hundreds of rounds of ammo to kill anything. Or basically half our ammunition capacity, so 50 rounds per 3 guns, so 150 rounds just to kill like a small target. Comparing that to like these repeaters, which we've been able to kill multiple targets with the repeaters and still have half of our ammunition left. It's just more efficient, it's more sustained fire, it's better versus lighter targets, and good versus the cutlass. And where I kind of got into this was that I was using the Firebird, and the Firebird actually, because I plan on using the Firebird in more missile type ships as fighters in the future, because it's more of a modern fighting style in my head, right? Because the more missiles that you have, the safer you are. You don't have to risk your equipment, if you have missiles to shoot. And that's kind of the trade-off that I'm having with these ships and stuff. So I was using the Firebird. Firebird has 24 size 3 missiles, so I was using the missiles to soften targets up and weaken them. Well, I went up against a Cutlass Black, so I decided to do, I did 2 missile bursts, and I did a 6 missile burst, and then I went in with the Gatling guns and did a couple of strafes, and then I shot one final missile at it and destroyed it. But just with the first missile burst, the Cutlass was so messed up that it barely had any guns left to fight besides its top turret. And that's where like the power of the missiles are coming in. But the missiles have the same thing as ballistics, where if you have a missile that isn't good enough for the amount of armor that's going to be on your target, then basically that missile is useless. Okay? And you could have brought something else. But if you do have something big enough, it's the best thing to have. And the trade-off is that you have to have ammunition to do it. So I think it's fair. I mean, it seems fairly good to me. But those, like the Gatling guns, for instance, I could put them on the Sulian, but it says it's close range. Okay, it's a close range gun. It says that it shreds armor off of I don't know, certain targets. And from what I noticed is like the Cutlass Black and stuff, it shredded the Cutlass Black easily. But like a Reclaimer or something, it isn't going to be doing anything against that at all. So that's just kind of how it is. And then if something does have armor, like extra armor, then that's where you would shoot more missiles at it, try to blow that armor off, and then try to finish it up with ballistics, I think, is what's going on. But we'll do a mission. I'll try to find just like a basic mission. And we'll kind of show like what's going on with this. And I'm not planning on doing anything like huge. You got a wreck site. I don't really want to travel to Daymar. And you do that here in a minute for MRTs. We'll do this wreck site on Yela because it's the only one that's close around me. There should be a ship that spawns. As long as it isn't a Reclaimer, we should be fine. But from what I'm noticing when it comes to like laser weaponry, even with a smaller ship, you can actually bring down the Reclaimer, but you need multiple small ships to bring it down. And the reason being is that while one person's recharging their laser weapons, the other one is still shooting, which keeps the shields from popping back up. But when I'm on my own, especially with the Sulian, laser weapons weren't good enough to get through like a Reclaimer, so I was sitting there shooting it for like an hour. But then as soon as another starter ship showed up and teamed up with it on me, like we took it down in like 3 seconds. Because I was shooting it and it was shooting the back, and then a shield dropped, and then we were able to actually apply the laser damage to it and wear it down. But the ballistics I don't believe would have did anything. Like the ballistics just wouldn't have went through the armor unless we used missiles. But there's usually a few ships that pop up on these missions.
Quantum travel complete.
Occasionally it's a Reclaimer though. If a Reclaimer shows up, I just don't think that we can do anything about it. But another partial reason I'm not using the Gatling guns on this is because the Sulian doesn't have a ton of movement speed. So the Firebird's fast enough to get in and use Gatling guns close range on a target, but the Sulian just doesn't really have that luxury. Just kind of do a flyover. There's usually ships that will pop up on these missions, so we'll kind of circle the area. See, they did this thing now too, where if you push Z while you're turning, you can't keep turning like you used to be able to. It's kind of annoying. Because I really liked doing that. You'd push Z or whatever, fix your turn rate, and then like get out of your chair, and then the ship would just kind of turn itself. I think that marker over there is that hull A that we destroyed. There was a bunch of cargo on there. I just don't have a tractor attachment for it. And I feel like we've been playing on a solo server the last 2 days. Been like the only person on here. Although someone answered me earlier. Let's kind of chill over here for a second. I feel like that's the Sulian I died with earlier. I wonder if my body's still down there.
Docking initiated. Docking denied. Landing gear.
I feel like the Sulian's better than people give it credit for. Like, now that I've flown it a little bit, especially as a starting ship, like, I don't know exactly how much the starting ships are anymore, but, like, a Cutlass is, like, $125 now. I can still get my old Cutlass for, like, $100. But, like, the Gladius has the same size 3 weapons and less missiles, I think, than the Sulian. I think it's like $90 or something. The Sulian's like $80, but I got this one on sale for 60, so I know it goes down on sale to 60. You got more missiles, basically more missiles than the Gladius, same hard points as the Gladius, more cargo space than the Gladius. Okay, more missiles, more firepower than pretty much every other starter that you could get. Pretty good cargo capacity than most starters that you could get. External storage, kind of a negative, kind of a positive. Just depends on what you're doing because, you know, you don't have to open up your ship to store cargo, but people could steal your stuff. So there's that. Still have a livable habitation on the inside. Bathroom, toilet, bed, all of that good stuff. Weapons racks, you know. It has Gravlev flying. So, like, I basically never have to worry about crashing into a planet at all. Just doesn't happen. Where's my pistol? It's acting like I didn't have my pistol. I had a pistol. Okay, well, we'll try not to get shot, I guess. We'll find a body if we can. Yeah, this is where I died earlier. See, that's wrong because I had a tractor beam on this gun. I 100% had a tractor beam on this gun. But, okay, so if you push F and then I, it should usually pop this up so you can kind of see, even if it glitches. But, yeah, there's some sort of problem there. I'm going to grab a gun real quick. So these guns are here from earlier, and it's been a while. So it looks like you can't interact with them anymore. You know what's crazy too is like the world can be persistent, but they could easily get around that by saying that the items degrade from like radiation on the planet's surface. I think the ship had a body in it, I think, as well. Guess not. Okay, this isn't the same ship. Alright, that's fine. No, my pistol was right there. I literally just saw it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stow that. Inventory. The pistol is literally there. Left ship. That makes no sense. Why can't I put that in my hand? Okay. So that's glitched, which is fine. See if we can see where that guy's gun is. I do like how this game has some form of like natural camouflage that happens, but crap. I think we just die here. There's always a spaceship, man, I'm telling you. But look how that looks good. But yeah, that didn't take long. But you see like how that is, like the ballistics, so like the Cutlass can destroy the Sulian pretty quick, even through its shields with those ballistics. The Sulian's like the same way.
Light them up.
God, we're in trouble now. Doesn't make any sense though, because like I have a pistol. I just can't use it. Boots. Well, looks like we're stuck on a surface, boys. Interesting to know that you can find equipment on those guys, though. Bodies with the guns are right next to the other guys with the guns. That's the problem. And then the other two guns are, I guess, useless. Because they've been laying on the ground for too long. I'm not seeing any guns on the ground. That's what's throwing me off a little bit here. We know that there was two bodies right here that went down.
Looking into it.
Oh my god.
Attack!
So there was a gun there. I couldn't grab the gun. I couldn't loot the gun, so I don't know. Might try to relog. But yeah, I'm thinking the ballistics are going to be working like that. Whereas if you have the ballistics that are the right kind of, like you have the right kind of ballistics to destroy a ship, then that's the best possible thing that you could have. So their top end, that's what people are going to like be able to use to get through shields. But if you don't have that, then lasers are going to be better. And that would also make what you call it, the Perseus better. I want to exit the game and come back in.